What's up, everybody? It's your boy Meme here. I woke up this morning at 6 a.m. And I walked on the treadmill for an hour. I came upstairs, I cleaned the sink, and I was planning on taking a shower, but it was getting a little later in the day, so I decided to take a shower this afternoon, which I'm yet to do. So that's my parents show in the background. But yeah, I'm yet to take a shower, and the reason why is just because, you know, I want to record it after my video. And yeah, so most of today I was studying. You know, once I finished cleaning the sink, I got dressed into like the clothes I like wearing, not like sink cleaning clothes, you know, and I just studied, and you can actually see the studying on this live stream I did. This live stream VOD is available on my channel. The stream itself went for 5.5 hours, which is pretty cool because you look at myself at the beginning of the video and you look at myself at the end of the video, and then by the end of the video it's like dark outside, which is pretty funny. Oh, you can't really see, my webcam's kind of blocking it, but you know, the studying went pretty well. For a pretty significant portion of it, like right around here, my sister came home, so I was like with my sister for a lot of this. Like a lot of this wasn't really studying. I would say I got like maybe a few hours of studying in, probably. But you know, yeah, it's pretty neat. One thing I do want to comment on is I do use Google's new large language model, Gemini 3 Pro, throughout it. And that's not a good example. I don't know, that's fine. And I really don't think I'm atrophying my brain. I think a lot of people use large language models and they think they're supplementing their thinking when really they're just like preventing themselves from thinking, because this machine is sort of generating words that make it seem like it's thinking for them, you know? But, you know, I really only use large language models, one, for like coding stupid things that I don't want to spend my time doing, even if it would be a good learning experience. Like, you know, sometimes I want to make like a stupid, like a fun little website thing or something, and I don't want to spend my own time doing it, you know? And the other thing is, if I have a question that's not time sensitive, because I'm using Open Web UI, and Open Web UI doesn't have good search tooling, and I need to ask a question that I would ask like a teacher in real life. So usually it's me getting a question wrong, just as a silly question to get wrong. But you know, now that I know the information. But usually I take a screenshot of a question I got wrong and I'm like, hey, why, like, I thought this is how it was. Why isn't it like this? Like, I thought this is how, you know, this is what led me to giving this answer. Why wasn't this the answer? And then it tells me, oh, it's because of this and this and this. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I usually look up the subject on like Wikipedia and I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah, I know what you're saying. And it's nice because it's able to like, it's like a thing on my computer that's able to speak to me. And it's nice because I'm not using any real human's time. Though I do acknowledge the ethical concerns around large language models. They are sort of based around copyright infringement, which I don't really have a strong opinion on copyright. I don't really know if I like believe in copyright. I don't really know. I haven't really thought about it. But you know, it's definitely real. A lot of it was made through like stealing stuff that people were under the assumption it wasn't going to be. Lots of large language models were like made illegally, right? Now what they're doing would be constituted as illegal, right? What they did would be constituted as illegal now, is what I'm saying. So, you know, that kind of sucks. And, you know, I really don't think most people use them properly. And it's very scary. Like, I feel like it really should just be I feel like you should be able to go to like chatgpt.com and like make an account and like it's able to talk to you when it's like, yeah, and it's like, you need to kill yourself right now, you know? Like, I don't think you should be able to do that, you know? Call me crazy. It's pretty bad for a lot of people, a lot of these large language models. So I feel like not as many people should be using them as they are, right? But, you know, they're cool, right? It's a cool technology, and I feel like it's unwise to not use it to its potential in a scenario where it can be helpful, especially around, you know, formatting. Something I used to do back in the day when I guess the last quarter of college when I was doing my history class, something I liked to do was I liked to make like audio versions of like the textbook, and we use this like online textbook, and all of the audio versions of it on YouTube were outdated, so I couldn't really use them. And so the thing I had done was I had, copied the textbook and I put it into a large language model, and I was like, hey, can you remove all the formatting and everything and just turn it into a paragraph? Just turn it into a paragraph. And with that paragraph, I was able to put it into Google's text-to-speech API, like their Google Cloud, like text-to-speech API, and I was able to generate, an audio version of this textbook, because with a large language model, I turned this textbook with all this random formatting and this random garbage everywhere, because I just copy-pasted the web page into a paragraph, and with that, I was able to create a text-to-speech so I could like read the thing easier, and just like stuff like that. Like it's very useful. It also I think Sylvian Franklin talks about this. He talks about how what a lot of people used Vim macros for are what people are using large language models for now, which is definitely true. There's a Luke Smith video called How Vim Makes My Daily Life Easier, where he has a bunch of pirated TV show episodes like as files on his computer, like video files, and I'm not talking from personal experience, right? But allegedly, when you pirate like a TV show, a lot of the time the formatting of the file like isn't really what you want. Like it's kind of weird, and there's like a lot of strange stuff, allegedly, right? And so something you have to do is you have to like manually change all of these file names. And Luke Smith was like, hey, look, with Vim, you can just like, I think he was doing like a regex thing, or he was like editing multiple lines at once, but he was like, look how much faster this is with Vim mode, or whatever. So when Sylvan Franklin says, oh, large language model search is replacing a lot of stuff that people did with like Vim, that's pretty true, because with something like an agentic coding tool like OpenCode or Codex or Gemini CLI, you can just open them up in the directory, and of course you got to make a backup, right? But you could just open it up in the directory and be like, hey, rename all of these files to this specific format. And if you use a low enough reasoning effort, or fast enough token per second model, it usually can do it in like 20 seconds or something, which is certainly faster than if I had done it myself, right? So there's like some pretty easy time-saving things, but do notice that it's like in very specific scenarios. I do recognize it's super easy for large language models to like atrophy your thinking, and you've got to be really careful to not use them too much. And I think, I don't know, that's all I have to say on that. Though, another thing I want to say is if you scroll down on this video and look at the comments, there are a whole bunch of bot comments about this cryptocurrency, which is so crazy. Really, really is crazy. But yeah, nothing else is really going on. For food today, I had a banana and a baked potato, and then I had 2 sloppy Joe sandwiches and some chips with it. And then I had half an avocado for dinner, for dessert. That was pretty good. I ate too much today. I ate a little more than I wanted to, but what can you do? Alas. Okay. Goodbye, you weird freaks.